Come on in, come on in, come on in the building. Come on in, come on in, come on in the building. Don't be shy, don't be shy. Don't be shy, don't be shy, don't be shy, don't be shy. Come in the building, come in the building. Mm-hmm. A little freezing going on. Freeze tag, freeze tag, little freeze tag. Come in the building, come in the building. What's good, everybody? I'll try to give y'all some time to get in here. Come into the building and hang out with your girl. So Pretty Toni. So Pretty Toni. What's up, gang? What's going on, everybody? Come into the building. Come into the building. Come on in. Hang out with your girl. We're going to talk a little bit of Angel Reese news. Everybody knows she broke her silence when it came to none other than that old Sandy Brondello. Reason we're bringing this back up is simply because you just got more folks out there. Everybody feel like they want to talk about it. And so, my girl, good old Candace Parker, came into the building. And y'all know, like I know, if Candace Parker decide to swindle in and put her nose in the building, then I got to talk about good old Candace Parker. We are calling good old Candace Parker to the table. Come to the table, Candace. Come to the table. Come to the table, Candace. We're not going to have no music today. It is me. Let me put myself up top. What's going on, everybody? I see you. Man, I tell you, it's been a long day. It's a little hot in this building, but we're going to make it work. So, come on in. Come on in. Come on, come on. Don't fall. Come on in. Come on in. I'm going to tell you who was the early bird in this house. I can tell you who's the early bird in this house. Y'all see it up top. And don't be a hater. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Okay, before I get started, let's go ahead and say hi to everybody. We got Tierra in here already. June Brown in the building. We got Tish Money 25 in the building. Oh my goodness. Octavia Brown is in the building. How are you? What is going on? She wins in the building. MSL in the building. Which got MSL? MSL say good afternoon. I get you. And chat. Sandy was wrong, and she knows she was wrong, along with those other Toronto players that love to run their mouth, to whom they should not have said a word. Along with those other Toronto players, you got Becky, who joined the fray, protest Black women. I'm sorry, protect. Boy, watch me now. It's a little bit hot. We got Greg still in the building. Big girls in the building. Who else? Oh, already. Look, y'all. Cause see, this is how we started off. And right now, I look like my little buttons here don't want to act right. Come on. You acting funny on your girl, huh? That's okay. But I'm gonna say this. We got a new YouTube member in the building. You guys give it up for our new member in the building. Don't hesitate. Thank you so much. Hang tight. Glad you're here. Thank you so much. Then we're going to get on to none other than, we got us, guess what, y'all? We got us a super. We got some gems. In the building. man, this is my first time getting those gems. Thank you so much. Uncle Lurt, thank you, June Brown. I appreciate you for giving me, look at them gems. 440 gems. Thank you so much. I'm so appreciative. Thank you. Any black woman that pretends like this was okay by Brondello is someone I know. I mean, it's someone I have to really question in the future. We have to question quite a few people because quite a few of them pretty much have an issue with a lot of things, and it don't have nothing to do with the Angel. They're just projecting it on her because they ain't got nothing else better to do. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. That's pretty much how that goes. But welcome back to CourtVision with SoPrettyToni, where we bring you nothing but the latest news. Sometimes my latest news, maybe just a couple hours later, maybe the next day later, because I got to make sure I stretch it out and get all of what I need. The analytics of what we're going to break down is absolutely factual. So sometimes it's always okay to just run immediately super. See, I got to do my research and make sure it is absolutely true before I put it out there. And we're going to have real conversation from around the WNBA in regards to good old Angel Reese. Today's show is all about Angel Reese. It is Angel Reese Day. And you know what? I have got to give a day for Leash. I have for Alicia Gray. I got to give a day for Jordan Canada. And I need to give a day for Naz Hillman. I need to give a day for Ryan Howard. I have to give a day for every single starter on the Dream. It's well deserving. I mean, we're going to talk about them individually and break them down individually. I know sometimes we'll start talking about them and it just kind of, we roll with the punches and different things here and there, but we want to kind of dedicate some time to just these players individually. So today is Angel Reese's Day, and that's it. We might bring up some other topics, but right now I want to focus on Angel again because it is long overdue. From the last 2 weeks, I've spoken about her, but just in reference to just the game itself. Let's talk about on the court, off the court, mental, what she's doing, her new shoes, like all those different things, right? You guys will tend to hear us talk about that when it's mostly Keisha and I. But today I'm going to give you a little bit of that because they did not play. They are off this week going into All-Star, which is a very good break, much needed break for Angel. So that is good. But with her being in the headlines, doing several major headlines, we're going to constantly talk about it because, again, I told you, Candace Parker has now entered the chat and is on the wavelength. I'm just trying to see what she said. And I'm going to tell you, I purposely didn't watch it because I want to watch it with you. I didn't watch it on purpose because I want to watch it with you. So don't ask me no questions about it. I don't know what all she said. I saw the title and I said, you know what? I can look at it right now, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to watch it with my chat. We're going to watch it together for the first time. From her response on Sandy Brondello apology to the latest update on her knee injury as well, which we know was a hyperextension. So we will see exactly the wording and verbiage that was used because I've had that article since yesterday. I just have not chosen. I haven't read it because I've just been super, super busy. As you can see, yesterday we went a nice little length of time, which was a good time. Sometimes it's just a good time, especially when you with old sister Keisha and the spotlights in the All-Star. Now, with that being said, let's get on over here. Let me get this together, y'all. I want to start pulling up the Hey, ADP, what's going on? What is good? I'm glad you're here. Brian Lewis has entered the building. Who else came in here? We got Van in the building. Who else we rolling with? Who else rolling with Rush right now? Come in the building, y'all. When you come in the building, make sure you hit the like button. Once you hit that like button, hey, at the end of the video, remember at the end of the video, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe while you're here too. But at the end of this video, go back and hype up the video. It is important that you hype up the video. I think it's only a couple videos a week, but Let's see. It says, "Are you watching my vlog? I saved 100 on groceries today." Oh, she must be talking to somebody in the she's talking to Brown Listen chat. Ooh, saving money is always good day. Saving money is always good day. All right, let's go to the video. I want to see what good old Candace Parker had to say, since she done entered the chat, and I don't know who told her that she has the right to enter the chat. I don't care who she is. Let's see. Let's upload this. Is this her right here? Oh no, that's not it. Let me go to it. Let's remove that one. That's not the one. And no, I don't want to be in a circle. I don't want to be in a circle. No, take me out the circle. Take me out the circle. There we go. Take myself out the circle. Let's see, chat. Let's see what good old Candace Parker had to say. I posted her right here. Here we go. Come on, good old come on, Candace. Let's see. Go back. Nope. It sure loves to reset as soon as I hit it. I had the link saved, and now, Where you at, Candace? Where you at? I'm going to have to. I had a couple. I had Candace Parker, and I also got my girl, none other than, Coop. Y'all know we put her all the time. Oh, Cynthia. We got Cynthia Cooper. And we got Cheryl Swoops, but Cheryl Swoops, let's go with Cheryl Swoops first while I fiddle with this thing, trying to find a good old crazy Candace, to whom the link was right here, and I just accidentally deleted it, y'all. Wasn't trying to do that. Did it on its own. Oh, there it is. Let's go Candace Parker first. There we go. I knew I had it right there, y'all. I don't have her whole video because I do not plan to listen to her the entire time. I went to a short clip, said, wonder if Angel will sit out the All-Star Saturday. Who knows? It just depends, MSL. Just depends.
Are considered racial slurs, and with the more eyeballs, with all those Toronto's Sandy.
All right, here she is, y'all, and I know some of you have seen it already, but let's listen to what good old Candace Parker has to say. In the meantime, let me take this down here. Anyway, that way y'all can see me. Hi, gang. All right. What's going on, Victory? I see you in the building, Victory Taylor. All right, let's hit play.
Brondello was suspended by the WNBA for 1 game without pay for an inappropriate comment she made regarding Angel Reese during Toronto-Atlanta game. Niara Sabali was called for fouling Angel Reese after an offensive rebound. Brondello was not happy with the call and made an inappropriate comment while communicating with the ref. The direct comment was, she's a protected species. Brondello later explained that this is in a common phrase in Australian culture. After the game, Angel responded to a post on X about Brondello's comment. The original post said, calling a black woman a species. And Angel responded, are we surprised? She added Sandy Brondello with a clown face. Obviously, I think, in this country, especially in America, like, those remarks are considered racial slurs. And with the more eyeballs, with all those things, she wasn't mic'd up. She was caught on a mic saying those things. She cannot say that. But I commend, just in terms of like calling it out, the WNBA, taking action, not necessarily addressing the intent, because I don't think the intent matters. I think this is something of setting a precedent of like, racial slurs, derogatory remarks. we're not going to go for intent. We're going to go for what actually was said, and holding those people accountable. And, you know, what Sandy said doesn't fly here. I think it was made clear by the WNBA and their stance. Toronto's Sandy Brondello was suspended by the WNBA.
Yeah. Candace Parker. Yo, Candace Parker. You've barely had anything, but you know what? Look, I'm not gonna chew your head off, Candace. Right? It was something that all analysts, for the most part, should be speaking on, right? So let's just start there. All analysts should be. Let's get myself back up there. Every single analyst out here should be talking about this. So I'm not gonna chew her head off because she spoke on it. But at the end of the day, we have to be very mindful of what we say, even coming from an analytic standpoint when it comes to people like Candace. And the reason why I wanted to bring Candace to the table first is because Candace chose a stance to be critical, in her words, when criticizing the player. Why is it deemed so bad? Why everybody want to come from you? Because you're not doing it from a perspective of truth. You're doing it from a perspective where you can make money off of the narrative, as everyone else that has made millions of videos in reference to negativity when it comes to Angel. Angel has gone through so much. We all know this. You still got people coming in my comments and DMs and, you know, TikTok, Instagram. I don't think I've received it as bad as the others early on that started this from the very beginning, started their shows from the exact stream beginning. But now, just going through this is crazy. We're 3 years in, and we're still going through the same narrative. And I said 3 years in because if you really think of her second year at LSU, it begins right after her first year. That right after winning that championship, she goes a whole season like this. She goes 2 more seasons in a W like this, and here we are. So in actuality, this is like the 4th year for this young lady to have to go through as much as she's gone through. And for any player, any single player in a W to say that it's okay in defense of Sandy is a problem, right? I think that Sandy made a piss poor judgment. We all know that. She made a bad judgment. She made a bad judgment call. Poor choice of words. While mic'd up or near mic, whether she had the mic on or she was mic'd up, especially being mic'd up, that makes it even worse. But for whatever reason, it was a poor choice of words. And so now, as Angel said, you know, look, she's listened to it. She got the apology. Well, she's listened to the apology that has come from Sandy, and so she's accepted the apology. But at the end of the day, there's still no reason for hate. And you got players such as Timmy, who feels like she needed to protect her coach, but in actuality, I don't even think she knew. She kind of pretend, yeah, she's not from here, but she's from here, but she's not from here. You see what I'm saying? So she not understanding the true meaning behind the word, when Angel actually has a teammate on her team that knows exactly what that means. And if any of us know Angel, everybody know that Angel gonna ask question. What does she mean by that? First of all, did you just call me a species? What does that mean? She loves asking questions. So she would ask any of her teammates, hey, do y'all know what that means? And so I'm sure she knew what that means before she tweeted what she tweeted. She knew what it meant before she tweeted what she tweeted. I'm almost certain she even looked it up too, just to make sure that what was said was indeed, in fact, the truth. It says, MSA, I agree with you. WNBA is the one that created this mess initially against Angel Reese. It shows by the way Angel has been treated by the league. Absolutely. I looked at some of the clips that some people put up, just watching, just in the Sky game, just how Will and Azurá Stevenson they got away with some fouls. There's one where where Azurá went up with her and Angel turns and she just pushes Angel. Angel's already fallen, but she helps her go down to the ground even more sooner than she probably should have. To me, that's personal foul right there. That's a flagrant. Anybody send that up to the commissioner? Anybody cause a havoc for that? Anybody say anything to Kathy about that? Anybody let Adam Silver make a decision on that? Because since he's making decisions, but he's turned around and said he didn't make the decision, but I think he did make the decision. Because otherwise, would Kathy have done this? We all know that she wouldn't have, right? Because she had no intentions on doing it in the first place. None. It's the reporters and the so-called media, black media and social media, who are either unaware of what took place and or too afraid to talk about it. I'm going with the second piece. Critique the system, AR5 treatment. I'm going with the second statement. They're afraid to. They know. They see it. They're all analysts, MSL. They see it all the time. Ain't no way in heck you're going to tell me that they had no clue that this went on. None. Let me move this. Ain't no way you can tell me you ain't know that went on from an analytical standpoint. Why? Because you have to do your research even before you get started. You have to do your research, and you can't let nothing taint what you got going on, period. But when you're afraid to lose your show, you're afraid to say something. I mean, look at Ryan, right? Look what just happened to Ryan. And from my understanding, this is something that was based on maybe some comment, jab that happened almost a year ago. But because football is ramping up again, here we are, and the man gets fired before the last segment of the show. It's the same. She said what she said. It show you what is going on in this whole league. Yep. Hey there now. Looky. We got a cookie. Hey. Uh-oh. Come on. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Berner. Thank you. I appreciate you. Look here. Here's what it says. Hey, I love it. I love super chats. I got a $5 super chat today. I got a member today. I got some gems today. Hey, Bernadette, thank you so much. Appreciate you. We all need to make we all should make a complaint of all the files of Angel. Thank you for covering her. Yes, I thought of doing a huge, not just a collage, not a composition, not a it's something else you call it, not this one, not what you're saying. You can compile. It's similar to this. Let's just say that it's similar to this. You can take, and it's going to show all the little clips. Boom, one after the other one. And just this year, we're not even complaining about what happened last year, because last year's come and gone, right? But we're talking about this year. We're worried about what happened this year. because this year is beyond unreal. If we can sit here and we can start making decisions based on how we gonna allow certain things to go versus none, then that's a problem. I really truly have an issue with that. I do. I'll see you when the Eagles fly. Hey, thank you, ADP. ADP said you that chick. Well, I mean, to talk about Angel is to talk about Angel, right? It's talk about the game and what she's going through and stuff like that. But I think if we get to the point where we really truly want change, everybody needs to be flooding Adam Silver, the WNBA page, and Kathy Engelberg. Every single foul that has happened that they haven't called, and they are very obvious. It would be different if they weren't obvious. They're very, very obvious fouls. Very obvious. They're very obvious. So we got to start pointing it out. I need people to start doing that. Do me a favor. Do that for your girl. Do that for our little Barbie. In support of solidarity, to make sure that she understands, hey, we got you, regardless to what anybody says, regardless to what anybody think that they want to do. It ain't gonna be any different. Let's see, somebody send me something. Oh, let's see. Oh, Keisha send me something. Keisha send me something. Oh, okay. We got to remember this guy. This guy playing 6. This guy already playing. All right, this guy is playing, y'all, but I'm here. It's my time on the show. If y'all choose to go watch the game, enjoy. But I'm gonna cover this because I think that this right here is important. Let me get to the next clip. Hey, let me send this. Actually had this copied. Here we go. Let me send this to you, ADP. I'm supposed to send it to you immediately. I always forget. My bad. Let me get it up there. Y'all got to remind me to make sure, hey, did you catch ADP? And no, I didn't do it on my TikTok today. All right, there we go, ADP. And then, uh-oh. Hold on, MSL. Let me find you so I can send. Always make sure that you and ADP always dropped out a link. Let me get it to you. Let me get it to y'all. All right, I just dropped the link for you too. All right. Let's put this here. Now, tell me, y'all, Angel is out here with 1 million billboards. She got 1 million billboards, y'all. 1 million billboards. Let's go ahead. I want to just put up there largely for you guys. She got 1 million billboards ready for All-Star. Someone asked me, and that was, of course, MSL, what do I think? Do I think that Angel is going to play in the All-Star? Or is she going to sit it out? Just depends on how she feels. Hyperextension, sometimes, you can, some people, it just depends on the person. They can bounce back, and some people, they need a little bit of time. Some just absolutely need a little bit of time. I'm going to say this, despite that and what has happened so far for Reese, In this season alone, despite having that extension, that hyperextension on her knee, Reese continues to put together another outstanding season with Atlanta Dream. And I think, we'll say you, chat, besides her just enjoying this team to the fullest and being the happiest that we've seen her in the league so far, and or just the past 3 years. She's had moments where she's been happy. We've seen her be excited about some things, but I think it just seems like there's some weight that has been lifted off her shoulders. She just seems a little bit more comfortable. She's enjoying her team. She talks about it extensively. Do you feel like this is the best basketball you've seen Angel play from an enjoyable standpoint? Not her best basketball, because we've seen some plays that she's done last year that would just blow your mind, and how she could just take over a game. And we know that she can do that here as well. But my question is, do you think, Chet, what do you think? Do you think that this is by far her best basketball season in a W? Being one of the W's top, or the W's top rebounder, period. But I mean, there's some others that's kind of coming along and joining in. But she is the top dog when it comes to rebounding and double-doubles, multiple double-doubles in a season. Thus far, she's already in double digits. She has a couple others trailing her, one tied her in the last game. But just doing it in the most dominating way is what I'm talking about. What's up, Goo? You made it to the building. Who else? We got Keisha Posey made it to the building. Who else in here? Who else made it? So ADP and MSL, I already dropped the link in your emails, so you already have it. But yeah, we're talking about just her dominance on the boards, offensively, defensively. I mean, defensively, when I say that she can snag them down when she wants to, it's the double and the triple box out. I don't know what kind of message, because in a sense, it kind of seems like they're sending a message like they're going to hold her from doing something, right? They see the trajectory that she's on, and I talked about this before, but she's in a place right now where it just seems like, nope, you say you want to be a defensive player, you want to go for that crown, you want to be a part of that defensive team, we're going to see just how far we can stop you. What's going on, Cheryl? We got Cheryl in the building. Made it to the building. I see you in the building. Let's get to this other article. Nevertheless, let's get to this other article. It says, courtside, our Chicago Sky finna whoop some. Oh, well, tell them to go ahead and whoop on. They need to whoop some. Jonathan Gonzalez is in the building. I see you. What's going on with Reese now? What's going on with Reese now is we're just giving her flowers. We're talking about what has happened thus far this season. Jonathan, where you been, Jonathan? We started 34 minutes ago. What'd you miss? Jonathan? Since you asked that question, huh? I just want to know. Choir minds want to know. Injury update. Let's go to the injury update. Let's put it up here. What's going on, MSL?
How's it going, Tony? How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How about yourself? You rolling?
Hanging in there. It's like every time we talk, it's like, oh, it's just been a boring week, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be one of the weeks our girl ain't playing, but at the same time, there's still lots to talk about.
Yeah.
Still lots to talk about.
I was being facetious. It's obviously a lot of stuff going on, and it's very, from Angel's standpoint, a lot of it I think is, on one hand, it's funny, I actually at first I only saw the introduction of the first minute or two when she had addressed the reporters, and she looked real nervous and stuff like that. So I was like, why did she do that until she was ready, blah blah blah. And then some people in chat were coming at me saying, well, because Angel said she wanted to do it, and the way she looked, I was like, I'm not so sure about that. But I didn't realize that that wasn't the whole thing. So when I saw the whole thing, I said, okay, she got to talk about what she wanted to talk about. She laughed and smiled, etc. But the real reason, obviously, was because she was going on she was going on vacation. She was already taking
she don't want to talk about
bikini.
that.
Right, she was already taking bikini photos on Monday, so she knew she had to get out of town, and that's why she was doing it. So Angel is like that. So good for her. She's always got a plan. She's always moving. She's always grooving, and she's like, I'm not gonna let these people, mess up my groove. But I'll just say that as an intro. I don't know if you want me to talk about anything now. You just want to show videos, but that's my intro.
We'll talk about it a little bit. Let's get let's go over this, because like I told the chat, there's some stuff that I'm showing that I purposely did not look at, so it'll be the first time watching it with you guys and going through it. And so this was the update report yesterday. So remember, it came out yesterday, but I got it and I said I was just gonna wait. I didn't even glance at it. After Keisha and I got off, I saw it, and then I put it in my file for today. And then I've been busy all day, so I definitely didn't have time to watch today. It says I was late because I was working out. Go ahead, get your workout on, Jonathan. Hey, I ain't got nothing. Do your thing, man. Look, I probably should be working out too, and stop drinking this soda. Sodas are something that I don't drink, but like these last 3 days, I've had a soda, but these last 3 days I have, and this is a Sprite.
Smart woman.
And trust me, I feel it, but that's okay. I got my big old jug of water over here too to get rid of all that sugar.
Even though Minnesota keeps winning, an argument can be made that they're kind of coming down to earth very slowly because they're barely beating bad teams. Now you got to give them credit, for their ability to win and make out those games. But both of those games against Seattle, Seattle could have won, but Seattle, they're just too young. They don't have enough experience and they don't know how to execute. And today they had them on a day where Miles shot, I think 5 for 14 or 5 for 15 with 13 points. I don't know if that's a harbinger. I don't know if that's a harbinger from things to come. But I, for one, and I'll just say it now, I don't feel Fee being there will make them any much better during the regular season because they've already been excellent during the regular season. So we'll see how that plays out with her integration. And as far as winning a title, I mean, if we'll see, but I don't think it necessarily makes them a shoo-in to win the title. I think they got to hustle and fight for it like anyone else, because when push come to shove, I'm not sure if Minnesota's the most physical team. Maybe Natasha Howard is, but she still likes movement and quickness and stuff like that. I don't know. She's a dog, but how much if she's a dog, we'll see. But I don't think Minnesota likes the physical play, and that's what you're going to see in the playoffs. So they may get by the first round, but the second and third round, we'll see.
Yeah, their most physical player would be Howard, but Howard, if she's not getting that slip step, Howard is ineffective, and we got to see that in the last 4 games or so for them, and just her movement, right? As teams are getting better, of course, Minnesota is still finding ways to win because you got a prolific point guard, a true prolific point guard on your team. So you're able to get things done.
And don't forget McBuckets. She scored like 30 something points or 20, like 24
she's coming
above,
out
or 30 something, like her last 8-9 games.
Yeah, she's coming out of her shell, right? Because remember, she started the season because she had I think it was an eye injury or ear injury, one of those. So getting her rhythm, and she kind of remind me a little bit of Ryan Howard. Although she's more efficient than Ryan Howard, and she can find her game within a struggling game.
Right.
But I think that when it's time for the smoke to really start blazing, it's hard. It is hard, in my opinion, for McBuckets, right? Just look at the playoffs. Look at the playoffs last year. McBuckets was in and out just when it comes to being efficient at shooting and finishing at the rim when she was attacking the basket. She's had a hard time. So it's when the lights are on and the smoke is blazing. What's going on, ADP? And the smoke is just filming up the room. It's thick with it. In the thick of things, will McBucket come out like she's playing right now? Because right now she's playing some of her best basketball.
Yeah.
But she's had moments like this several times. But when the smoke of the flames get to be too thick, how is it that McBuckets find herself? Because it's two seasons in a row that they find themselves deep in the playoffs. The year before last, they were in the finals. They lost to New York. Then last year, they get in there and they lose to the Mercury, and then the Mercury goes on to play the championship game against Las Vegas. So you need McBuckets, this type of game that she's having right now. This is what you need during that time. And the question is, will she be able to bring that to the table? I'm going to tell you, I think this year is going to be by far one of her better years in the playoffs because she don't have to do too much because she has, again, a point guard that she has. Remember, she had Courtney. Backup was none other than Heidemann, and just the different numbers of players that they had trying to handle the ball, and then they had to put the ball in McBucket hands to help out. Well, she doesn't need to do that now because the ball really, truly only needs to be in one person's hand, and if you say two, then Courtney is your other.
Sorry.
Her job is to catch and shoot or attack the rim. That's it.
Well, I know you have 80.
I see you. Twilla Russell came in the building. I'm sorry. We got TW 7525 in the building. Y'all, hey, hit the like button when you come in here. Corey, I see you in the building. Who else I missed? I think that's everybody. Go ahead.
The one thing I'll say, Tony, before you put ADP on, I think the other thing that people don't realize with Minnesota is that great efficiency that you're talking about. That's mainly or largely a good portion because of their defense. And their defense causes them to get turnovers, and the way they run their pick and roll, like you said earlier, their defense and the way they run their pick and roll, that's going, that helps their efficiency a lot. But I think in the playoffs, teams will up their defense, especially as you go deeper in the playoffs. So they won't be the only ones playing great defense, one. And like we said earlier, now you may play teams that are more physical, who are playing you a certain way. The refs kind of look the other way when it comes to calls. So it's not to say that Minnesota can't win the title. It's just that I don't think that just because Fee comes back, they're automatic to win the title. I mean, if you look at Atlanta's starting five, they have as good or almost as good or just as good as the starting five as any team in the league when Bree Jones comes back. If you want to say Minnesota had the better starting five, okay. If you want to say the Aces have a better starting five, okay. If you want to, no, you can't say New York now because New York has major suckage at the moment, but they also have on paper a great starting five, and you can argue that those four teams have the best starting five. So I mean, hey, to me, it all depends on what the teams do between now and the end of the year and how they attack the playoffs. So once again, Smecco, it's on you.
Yeah, go ahead, ADP.
Hey guys,
How you doing?
I kind of agree with MSL too, because the playoffs is really different, and I get it. Miles is doing one heck of a job. You can't take that from Miles. You cannot. With bringing feedback, it's a great thing. Yeah, they'll continue to be great, but when it comes to those playoffs, look, like MSL said, they're gonna triple double that defense because that's what it's all about. I can see it now. And Minnesota, they don't have a whole bunch of defense on that team, so we're gonna have to see what happens. But
And that bench, that's playing well. Sorry, ADP.
Hey, Michelle, let her finish. Go ahead, ADP.
No, I'm saying like that's what I'm saying. After the All-Star guys, it's going to be a different ball game. It's all going to depend on the coaches and the players who want to win it the most. And sometimes I know Carl be tripping and all that kind of stuff, but I think the ladies for themselves have figured out some things. Not, and not just Atlanta, the Aces too. And I know those you guys is probably America don't come for me, top 2 teams or whatever, but it may be all different. It may be some different teams up in the championship game. I'm just saying, look at the Mystics.
Right.
Look at the top 10 teams and how they inching up. The ones that were in the middle or at the bottom. And some of those teams have a lot more defense than someone like, the Aces and the Lynx. It's something that the Aces miss. Never mind. They got rid of.
Oh, no. Go ahead, ADP. Nobody gonna throw tomatoes at you. Go ahead.
I'm still a little heartbroken, America, on my Kenny Carter, but I'm just saying it doesn't matter who you bring in there. You still got to form that chemistry, right? And you got to have more than 1 or 2 people coming off that bench doing something too. But, I'm not the one to gossip. Yeah, this new, chick coming, or whatever from overseas. They already had that set up. Did I say that again? Okay, allegedly to me. Because deals like that, you just don't make all of a sudden. This is where the politics and the business come in.
You talking about with the Aces?
Oh yeah, we touched on this.
That was just a lucky guess because I heard someone say something about Kennedy Carter today, saying you won't believe this. So that was just a lucky guess on my part.
No, what I'm saying is, listen. At the end of the day, there are business moves and political moves behind closed doors and things that are already set up. What just happened with that team, from my perspective, is that was already set up from day one when they played against that team. You know what I'm saying? Even with that's what I'm saying. When Toni said, like, what did they tell Kennedy? What was her job description? What did they let her know what she was doing? Because obviously they had another plan. So it didn't matter if Kennedy did good or not, guys. Because guess what? I'm telling you guys, they had that girl already set up to come to the Aces. And she been out for a second game. She'll be out for the second game. I guess you got to get adjusted to the system over here. But I'm just saying, you got to be careful when you make moves like that. Yes. As far as coaching, yeah, great coach. As far as everything else, I told them, Toni, I said, listen, it's revealer season. All them snakes gonna come out the hole, and it's gonna be from the organization, from the coaches to the players. Don't be surprised. It might be some of your favorite coming out, and you be like, no. This is why I'm an Angel Reese fan. She is like my niecey poo, but I don't put nothing. Look, I don't put nothing past my own kids when they're not around me. You don't never know what your kids gonna do. Yeah. I'm just saying. So I don't put her that far where I'm like, she can't do certain things. No, she can do so many other things that we don't even know about. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But look at how Becky moving now.
Oh, well, that doesn't surprise me. That might surprise some other people because people look at she's a great coach. But for me, if your character and you have repeated behavior, okay, baby. No, it's not yet. To me, that overcomes.
Got excited.
Yeah, he did. That takes over your achievements when your character is that messed up and you have a pattern. But that's people favorites. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
this is why they need to bring the Black Queens back into the coaching. Oh, said that too. Okay, go ahead.
No,
Toni.
but
my whole thing was MSL is that the two teams that are on the top teams, the decision making. It's really going to make a difference for the Aces. You got to see how the chemistry working out, and you got to see, because sometimes the players that you expect to be on, they're off. A lot of times this year, if you're watching the game, Asia going to do Asia, or whatever. But far as the rest of the team, they're coming along, or whatever. And I like the Lynx. I don't know, Toni. I don't know.
No, I like the Lynx too. I just don't know. I just don't
Not the
think their
top two.
perfection automatically makes them
Uh-oh.
a champion, even with fee back, because titles are not won on paper. They're won with blood, guts, heart, and soul, and on the court. And so we'll see how that plays out. Like Auntie EE said, Minnesota was number 1 this time last year as well. Atlanta was also 5th last year. But they both were the same in the standings right now as last year. Some other teams dropped from last year. So what she's saying was that Atlanta made a run, from this time last year, and they were in a similar position as Minnesota to where Atlanta is now. And then they both ended up with similar records. I think that's what she's.
Here's the deal. What happened with the Dream, for as Minnesota? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having a sandwich. For as Minnesota and Dream, yes, their record is exactly the same. When they made the run became between Aces and the Dream, because they were going back and forth from that position.
Right. The Aces went on a run, right? Well, I have a prediction. Well, I had a prediction when I looked at the record. I predicted that Atlanta would be 30, that have the same record as last year. So they would have to go 19-4. Then they won that game. So now they would have to be 18-4 for the rest of the season in order to have the same record they had last year, which wouldn't be as bad as people think, because remember, the league is better, as you always say, Toni. And they had two, and last year they had 2 bigs for the whole year. This year they only had 1 big for half of the year, because Bree Jones didn't play for most, for a little bit more than most of the year, because they played 20. How many games they played? 26. They played 26 games. So that's a little more than half the season. So now they'll have both of them. So we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't be shocked if they went 18-4 to finish the season, if Mr. Smesco has it cooking to have the same record they had last year. We'll see.
Well, what we need them to do, though, in order for that to happen, and I'm gonna tell you something, Chad. I mean, if the league just leave Angel alone when it comes to playing ball, just let her play.
You're right about that, Toni. You're right.
I absolutely tell you.
I thought about that.
It's going to be a whirlwind for the W, but
and
I think you're going to have some exciting basketball. You just have to let players play. Right now, you're letting Paige play. You act like you started off like you wanted to try to, I don't know, put Paige in a box, but Paige said, I will not be denied. Angel, in other words, is saying the same thing, but it would be easier if the rest of her teammates sometimes are on right along with her. When she's having a bad game, they're on, and vice versa, right? But you got to always have more than 2 to come to the table.
You're speaking about Dallas or Atlanta, Toni?
I'm speaking of Atlanta.
Okay.
I'll use Paige as an example, because they seemed like they were going to go after her in the beginning of the season as well, but then they kind of let off, and she said, I would not be denied. Angel is different, because she can't use her voice the way she wants to on the floor like she typically would. And now having the 7 technicals, right? She still have to be careful with whatever she does, i.e. why Ryan jumped out on that ledge in that last game
when Liz jumped into the ground.
Well, no, not when Desiree, when Williams, yes, but Williams actually she fouled Angel.
She fouled her first, and then when Angel's like, "What's going on?"
No, she fouled at the top. Angel was falling, and Angel fell to the right side. When she fell to the right side, she ended up underneath Williams' legs, and Williams fell. But they should have called the foul up top, i.e. even before calling the foul on top, MSL and ADP and chat, Williams reached in. There's a clip. Oh, man, I don't know where I put it. There's a clip where she took and put her hand right around Angel Reese's waist to try to slap the ball away from the left side. But because of Angel, the way she angles her body, you get to that ball, you sure enough got to pop her on the arm. But just reaching across the body inside underneath her arm like that, that's from the angle Williams was in. That's a foul. So if they allow her to simply just play without all the silliness, the blatant no calls, give her the calls that she's supposed to have, right? We're not saying Angel has to have this special whistle, but she certainly has no whistle for the most part. Every now and then you'll get a different referee that'll come and will ref her game, and then she'll have somewhat of a decently called game. But we know who they are. It's the same
in Toronto.
Yeah, it's the same individuals that call her game that she just absolutely can't play. I mean, she can play, but she has to minimize and dummy down, as they would say, her game in order to be able to stay within the game.
Well, what was interesting though, Toni, was ever since Bree Jones came back, and maybe a little bit before that, it seemed like Smesco adapted his offense where they were playing kind of like that Minnesota ball. She was getting a lot of her points on cuts and backdoor cuts and on the fast break. So the ref couldn't really impact. That's when she had the 24-point game, the 23-point game. And then unfortunately, because of everything in her sneakers, she was missing a lot of those easy shots that she was making the previous two games to kind of mess up her little run. So at least for the regular season, obviously the playoffs is a different animal. But now that Bree Jones is back and you have another offensive threat, another rebounding threat, another defensive threat, I'm hoping that Angel can still score those easy baskets where on the break or on the run out, and on movement and cut. So yeah, she doesn't have to rely on the refs that much, because she's been more active off the ball now, and also pushing it in transition and the fast break. So, let's hope for the best if her knee and her ankle providing is good.
Yeah. And I think she's going to be fine. Again, the question was asked, do I think, and I'm going to get to this article real quick. It says Atlanta Dream has received worrying news regarding Angel Reese. Ford Reese, 24, was forced off during a Dream game after suffering a painful injury. Now, during that injury, Angel Reese of the Atlanta Dream shoots a free throw against the Toronto. While we talk about Toronto, guys, we're supposed to be talking about something else. Then Dream forward Reese sits on the bench against the Chicago Sky. Head coach Carl Semesco, 55, has issued an update after Reese exit the game against the Chicago Sky on Sunday. The forward played 20 minutes during the team's 93-91 win at Gateway Center Arena. But Reese suffered a left leg injury early during the fourth quarter. Reese fell to the floor after her knee buckled under the basket. She came to a jump stop, of course, and her knee buckled. It says now Semesco has explained his decision to withdraw the forward. And when he was looking at her, it seemed like she was in a lot of pain. That's what he said in the interview. Semesco said via Fox 5 Atlanta, and she wanted to go back out there, but he kept her out. In other words, to summarize that up, he saw that she was in a lot of pain, and he said her, no, you're done for the rest of the game, and immediately sent her to the back to take off her shoes. If she would have sat on that bench, y'all, with them shoes still on, Angel probably would have forced her way back out there. And so it was good that he had her go to the back and take those shoes off and get comfortable and then come back out and cheer her team on if she wanted to. But to tell her she was done for the game and go take off your shoes, that is something that absolutely needs to be done, because sometimes you can hyperextend your knee, still go out there. You get a little bruising sometimes. It feels weird. You don't always need several days of recovery. Just a couple of days sometimes of recovery is enough. But again, it depends on the person. It depends on how bad they bruised themselves when they buckled the knee. So I'm sure that they're going to go in, they're going to look. And sometimes you don't want to look too early if swelling is there, simply because you'll miss some things, and you kind of want to give the swelling some time to go down and then get imaging, right? But I don't think it's that bad. Angel popped up off that doggone chair when Canada hit that doggone. Like, what you talking about, man? I think Angel's she's a warrior.
Yes,
She's a warrior,
yeah.
and so we don't have
And
to worry about her.
Canada looked like
And
a doll. Looked like a doll in her hand, or like her child or something.
yeah, and that's the thing too, Tony. When it comes to Carl on the coaching, I have him in timeout. But Carl, as the family guy for this team,
He cares.
he is all in from the heart, and you
He
have to watch
cares.
from the beginning to now. He know what's up. He know that, yeah, what happened. Okay, we're gonna, Angel, look. I'm seeing it. I'm right here. I see everything going on. Yeah, she had the injury and had to sit down or
Yeah, it
whatever
was more
because he
so
felt,
what was going on in her head.
he felt, felt that. But also to, what I'm saying, to have to deal with seeing a player get bullied and physical, and other players get physical on her like that, and they constantly do it every single game, and they don't call nothing. No, you're not going back out there. No, Angel. No, you're gonna sit down. I got your back. I got your back because I need you to sit because Carl is sitting there watching everything. He get the close up on it. They see that every time we play a game. They see it, but this time it was like, what? Like, y'all really not gonna call nothing? She on the ground. You still not gonna call nothing? Then she got to go back for the injury. Nah, Andrew, you gonna listen. We're gonna put some on this. You're gonna sit down. You're gonna cheer for your team, but I can't do it. I can't do it. So that's where the father-like type of, Carl comes out for these players and stuff. He see what's going on, and I think that he made the best decision for her to sit. And no, she did. Angel didn't want to sit, but she realized that he actually cares about her, guys. Regardless of his coaching skills, regardless of whatever we may think, if he didn't care too much, he would have sent her back out there knowing that she had just got hurt.
Oh yeah.
I think it was the injury combined with everything that was going on, the press conference or the press conference earlier. And I think the tears, just like in Toronto, was because she knew she couldn't say nothing, and that's when Ryan Howard got the tech when she saw her on the floor like that with the tear out, because I think she doesn't want to hurt her new team by not playing. So I think she knows.
No, MSL, you know what that was? That's a woman that's tired. That's a woman that's had enough.
That too.
That's what that was. She's tired, guys. She keep dropping the receipts, opening, defending herself. You got the team defending herself. We defending her. She's tired. What else is she supposed to do? You better be glad the clown thing was the only thing that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like that. When you're tired, you start releasing.
See, and I'm glad you brought that up, ADP, because this goes back to what I was saying to Tony on the chat, but obviously on the chat, you can only say but so much. My issue is, if the league is going to do all the stuff that they're going to do, on one hand, we could say, okay, league, even though it's wrong, even though it's not based on reality, even though it's not based on the actual marketability between the two players, but if you choose to do this, okay, fine. Well, what about the fans, the press, the media, the social media, the so-called Black people in the media? Because what I hate the most about this, no one ever goes back to 2022 to 2024. If you go back to 2022 to 2024, you will get all your answers on everything that's happening to Angel, that's happening to the women, that's all the racism and all that stuff, because it all stems from there. Because like I told Tony, they knew Angel was pro CBA. She was even willing to be a spokesperson for the women. She was pro CBA, pro history, pro women, pro this, pro that. The league saw all the deals and endorsements and how in 2024 LSU was the most talked about team. They had already seen her eclipse Caitlin Clark when everybody got to see them head to head. So when she made that decision to come to the league, and and she didn't go with Nike, she didn't go with the corporate deal, they're like, we gotta have an all-out attack on this girl. And there's a lot of things that you can see that show that and prove that, as far as deals and transactions and things like that. But I'm also sure there are insiders within the league and within these organizations and these companies that can spill the beans. We just got to get these people to talk about it and spill the beans if they haven't already, because the part that frustrates me the most is a lot of these Black people who talk about it, they just go, yes, Caitlin Clark, the most exciting this, because they use that as an excuse. They go, okay, maybe she can't play, maybe she's a jerk, maybe she's a this, maybe she's a this, but she's making money for the league. I beg to differ, because if you look at that TV contract, they only got $2.2 billion out of that TV contract. Based off of the metrics, they could have got $6 billion out of that TV contract. So it's that argument you keep hearing about the league doesn't really want to make money, because that they could have gotten $6 billion, $5 billion, $4 billion out of that TV contract. Also, they tied in Clark with Trump being in office. So it's like, okay, so if people are right wing because Trump's in office, then we're going to be right wing. But you don't have to do that in order to sell sports. You know why? Because first of all, the majority of Americans are probably not right wing. But if you just promoted it like any other league, the right wing people would come if they thought they had.
What happened?
Oh, did I tap the microphone?
I said, what happened? Where'd you go? I said,
what was my last word?
I said, look, I'm in a whole different area, so I know my internet behind the day. I am not.
Tony got flashbacks. He's like, oh no.
I was because the last 2 days, I was like, good God, somebody help me. But
I'm sorry, Tony. What was the last thing I said?
Golly, I don't even remember. I was distraught.
Look, I just started looking when everything stopped.
No, I'm sorry. No, you know what it is? That I got, because I guess you guys do the same thing. I keep the little finger thing over the microphone in case I want to do something. Y'all don't hear the clickety clack in the background or whatever. So it's always there. So if I'm talking and I tap the laptop while I'm talking, it probably shuts off the microphone. So my apologies. No, I think what I was saying was my issue, if the league wanted to do what they wanted to do with Clark and Angel, whether we agree with it or not, or whether it's actually based on real merits or not, which I don't feel it is. You can even argue that's their choice to do it that way, whether we agree with that or not. But what I don't like is the people who actually cover the WNBA. Like you said earlier, Tony, they know, but they choose not to say anything. So when they come with these cockamamie arguments, because there's some people who would say, okay, maybe she's not as great as they said she was. Okay, maybe what the league is doing is not nice or racist or this, but then they'll say something like, but she's bringing the money into the league. But I totally disagree with that, because the first example I gave was that TV contract they did for $2.2 billion over 11 years. They could have got $4 billion. They could have got $6 billion based off of the metrics. So it brings back that argument people make when they say the league doesn't really want to make money, because they don't maximize their marketing or their opportunities, because they're the redhead stepchild of the WNBA. The other thing I said, I think when we got cut off, was if you wanted to properly market the league, you wouldn't market it to rednecks. That makes no sense, because these rednecks don't even like the league, right? What you would do is market it to everybody. And then if the rednecks like her, they can come too. But all these rednecks that they're promoting to, the same way people say the rednecks don't buy the sneakers. I don't know if they do. I don't know if they don't, but that's what a lot of people say. A lot of these rednecks are not into the league. So one of the things they did, if y'all peep the game, y'all, because everything they do has multiple factors. So when they started talking about the congressional stuff, right? So now all of a sudden she's in the news, right? She's in the news more than she would be, because up until that point, they kept talking about her bad basketball. So now all of a sudden she's in the news. So when they played the Liberty the other day, this is what I'm told, I don't know, they claim it got 3 million viewers. And up until this point, Indiana's ratings had stagnated or declined, and Dallas and Atlanta and Vegas and stuff had similar, if not better ratings. So all of a sudden, one of the things they did by putting her in the news is getting the casuals who will go, oh, I've been hearing about her in the news. Let me go watch, because those people on the internet that we always talk about, they don't watch the games. They don't buy League Pass. Maybe, I'm sure some of them do, but not most of them. So everything Kathy has done is a cluster, you know what, but nobody challenges it because they just go, oh, Caitlin Clark. And I'll just say one more thing and stop. And I can prove it. And here's how you prove it, right? Venus and Serena, right? When they came into tennis, they didn't win right away. It took them 2 to 4 years before they started winning. And in that sport, you have to play well in order to win, because it's not a team sport, right? I think Serena won her first at 17 or 19. I forget which one. It could be 19. And I think Serena. And Venus won when she was about 21. But between then, they were getting their butts kicked by Martina Hingis, who was the number 1 player at the time. They call her Swiss Mix. She was from Switzerland. And along with some of the other players, but Martina Hingis was kicking their butt. It took them like 2 to 4 years before they could figure her out. And once they did, they started winning. They just didn't. So no matter what acclaim they got, they still had to prove it on the court. No matter what acclaim Tiger had, he had to prove it on the golf course. This young lady did not win a title in college. The girl who beat her was more well-known, had more endorsements, more this. She still has almost twice as many Facebook or social media followers as Clark does. But the league will never talk about that because we're not supposed to know that, right? So then all of a sudden, at worst, right, they said Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, they brought new followers to women's basketball. Everybody agrees with that except the redneck conservatives, right? But everybody agrees with that. But then all of a sudden, the WNBA only promoted Clark, and Angel was the villain, but she wasn't promoted as a peer. And the part that frustrates me the most is the Jamel Hills and the Roland Martins and all these other people, even the Carrie Champions. Why don't you ever attack the premise and the basis that the league says? Because once you do that, you'll get all your answers to why the women and Angel and everybody is treated the way they are now. And that's my problem. And if I have the information and know it, they should know it too. Like Tony said, they're just plain ignorant, just like the Brondello thing. It ain't that hard to figure out that thing came from the indigenous laws.
And let me get the money. Hold on. Hey, thank you for the $5 super chat, Auntie Fee. I thank you so much. She said Angel looked tired during the game. She looked worn down. She had the same look at the presser. Then getting beat up on calls was the icing. Yeah, I agree. She did look she looked very tired. It's like, dang, like, again, it's one of those things where Auntie Fee, you're like, we're at this again. Like, just every time I feel like I get my head above water, somebody duck me back under, and I'm just drowning. I'm drowning. Okay,
right,
and then
right.
Get my head back up.
Yep.
Push my head back down. It's one of those things where, you know, it's such a yo-yo effect. I don't know what
and how you think a mindset is. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know I don't know what you think you're supposed to get from that. It's tough. And I heard you all say early on, you know, the crack in her voice, when a person is just taught, like, she loves to talk. So talking isn't the thing. Is she didn't want to talk about it, but she had to talk about it. But she went through so much and she wanted to do it. She wanted to talk about it without crying, right? Without showing emotions and just get it over with. So sometimes when you're going through that, it is just absolutely tough. It's absolutely tough. It says, Tony, don't think people understand how it feels to be a coach and feel like you're letting your player down. Absolutely, man. I've been going, man. Van has talked about it. That is absolutely Carl. I think Carl has one of those situations where we're just like, hey, like, how much
More
does
can
this
she take?
girl have to take?
Yes.
It's one thing to be in the position that she and all the W players are in, and you have to be able to take some criticism, but this stuff is above and beyond. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, we're not having those real weird moments where we're like, okay, well, you know, Angel will just be fine. Well, Angel will just be fine. At some point, she's not fine. She's human, just
Thank
like
you, Tony.
She
Thank
is just
you.
like you and I and y'all that come. Like, we come in a chat, we say things. I'm in other people's chats. I'm on the panel. We say things, but then we get in our feelings and emotional. You know why? Because we are human. Because why? It is human nature to have
Tony.
emotions.
Yep,
So she is not any different from anybody else that have to go through this all the time. It's unreal. It's unreal. Real Money says these women were great at basketball far before CC and Angel. Them coming and bringing the spotlight made all of these great players superstars and household names. You know, Real Money, for that is to be said about some of the players that just weren't big players. I'm not going to always go back and fall back to this narrative. And I saw that and I want to speak on this. I'm not going to keep going back to that narrative. Did they bring
because the league was on the rise before they came.
I got it. Yeah. Before CC and Angel came, there was all of this stuff that everybody gave light to CC for was already in the works. It was
the charter planes, etc., the TV contract, etc.
Now, would you have as many TV deals? No. Would you have this huge problem that's going on in the W without them? No. Had Angel not did the John Cena and they would have just came in the league, people still would have gloated over CC the way they did. They just would not be villainizing Angel the way that they are.
Or she would have been Sabrina Ionescu and nobody would have cared.
Yeah, it would have been one of those things you don't care. That's what I'm saying. Nobody would have made it a big deal. She would have been able to just play freely. It's the negativity, and then people go, well, the Angel Reese fans, they're so nasty. Those fans started attacking the CC fans after the CC fans started trying to just do more than humiliate, just try to destroy.
It's constant negativity. It never stops. It's constant negativity.
You tried to destroy her career, try to put her under to where she couldn't function and think or play because she was going to be too emotional and too mental for it. End up being like a hose claw who said, I'm going to come in the league, I'm going to play 1, 2, 3 years, and then I'm out because I can't take it. She's a different breed. Just like going back to someone said that she's saying she has a problem with Baltimore. That girl ain't never in her life said she had a problem where she came from. She always bigged up where she come from. I'm tough. I'm rough. I get it from Baltimore. I'm a Baltimore baby. Right? At some point, enough's enough. And then we cry. Like even right now, we say, well, I don't understand why they're doing that and saying that to CC and blah, 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 blah. That's not right. That's just nasty. Well, you say the same thing as her fans to the other players and even more so to Angel. And you say, that's that. I'm talking about, and Real Money, don't take it personal because I'm when I say CC fans, you have CC fans that don't watch the game, and you have CC fans that are only here for problems, and then you got CC fans because she's in a W because they love they love the game of basketball and they want to see women play. So you got 3 tiers, 3 types of individual fans. And then you got the Glazers that no matter who you talk about, CC always come up in the picture. Like we said absolutely nothing about CC until you rolled in here, big real money. Like, I want to be able to do segments where we're not talking about her, because it's not about her right now, right? She's gonna have her moment. She's gonna have her time. But she did not bring all of this alone. She didn't bring all of this alone, right? It's just an issue with those that just won't let shit go. It is those that come in different spaces to throw discourse. It is those that can't even give Angel props for the things that she's doing well, because it's so obvious that I'm going to take every single game she plays and I'm going to find what she did that was bad, and then I'm going to highlight that for the whole world, and then we're going to pass it on and pass it on and pass it on and pass it on and pass it on, and we're just going to continue this narrative. Come in where you have something strong to say in regards to the person to whom we're talking about at the moment, because those moments are the moments that are most important. Just like Cece get her shine, Angel needs her moments. She needs her shine. She got her people making sure that she's good. At the same time, all of those deals, and I'm going to get back to those deals real quick before I step off. All of those deals were already in the works, but because of the drama that came in and all of the professional retired players and Stephen A and the rest of them came in and they all said, Caitlin Clark did this. They got this because of her. No, what she was able to do was she was able to speed up the process. So let's say that I'm going to give that to Cece because of
but it just wasn't Caitlin Clark.
I know, but
listen,
wait, MSL, I know, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm giving text. I'm giving text to just what the narrative is. We know that they both were big ups. We know that they both were big names. And we know that Angel superseded, but because of the John Cena thing, she became the person that everybody hated for no apparent reason without even knowing why they hated her. They just saw the next person hate her, so they hate her, and the next one, and the next one, and it just became a trend. But I'm going back to the deals and all the other stuff that was already on the table the year before Cece came. Her coming and all the hypeness around it, it helped speed up the process. But it didn't come because she came in the league. And that's where we are with that. We have to make sure that people stop sitting here saying that, oh, they all got this because of her. No, they didn't.
Yeah,
it's right there.
Stories.
And nobody wants to look at the black and white, right? Black and white tells you what was on the table, what was coming forward, what the ladies were meeting about, and also having the CBA come available. Like, so you had so many things that went on during that time. It was a big, big time for the W. But that class also was the start, and I'm going to use this word, it was the start of a huge era for the W. That I'm going to give to Angel and CC both. Why? Because of the amount of people that they brought to the league. Now, most people that have come to the league, that have come into the W with Angel, they are basketball fans. And
I would agree with
followed her from basketball. So a lot of them want to talk about basketball, and they can't really talk about basketball because they got to always sit here and try to defend the silliness, right? Give the young lady props, because if it's your child, if it was your child, everybody thinks that their child is great, even when their child is bad.
See,
Tony,
even when their child is bad,
baby.
Everybody thinks their child is great, right? And so this is somebody's child. And this woman has to listen to how you guys demean her child every single day, all day. They have learned to have tough skin because they are a professional family. Mama played, daddy played, big brother is playing overseas, younger brother is floating in the NBA right now. She's playing professionally. They've had the auntie played. Like
the other brother plays overseas.
Yeah, I already said that one. I said that one first.
Okay.
Right? they come from a profound family of players that just like to play hard-nosed, strong basketball. And we should be talking about hard-nosed, strong basketball.
And also,
that's it.
Oh, yeah, real money. It just didn't start when Angel and Caitlin came. All the race was already there, baby. This is just the icing on the cake. This didn't just start from these two ladies when Angel came.
Yeah, but those are some of the lies that they like to tell. It's a talking points, or it's marketing, however you want to say it, because not only was the WNBA growing, but women's sports on a whole is growing. You know what it's like? It's like, see, I invest, right? It's like when you invest, right? If you invest in a growing sector, you can pick different companies within that sector, and your investment is going to grow. Like, you could almost close your eyes and say, okay, I'm going to pick this company, and 7 out of 10 times it's going to grow. The WNBA was just part of one of those sectors in women's sports. That's why you hear people talk about women's sports so much. So the league and the NBA was also losing fans because a lot of people got fed up with the all offense, the stupid calls, the freedom, the fact that players can't play basketball like they used to anymore. So they came to the WNBA because they felt it was more physical and they played harder and it was more defense, and the players didn't make ridiculous amounts of money. So that way it was more sincere and more earnest. They were playing not only for money, but for the passion. So the WNBA was growing regardless. And let's call a spade, y'all. Let's be real. Let's call a spade. Women's college basketball still draws more than the WNBA. So you can't say, you can't go, CC or Angel, they're so great, they're so this, because with college sports, it's just the sport itself, right? Yeah, CC and Angel grew the ratings, no doubt, to a big number, no doubt. But guess what? When they had the finals, I'm curious to know, does the NCAA finals, what's their rating compared to the WNBA finals? How much you want to bet the rating, even though it won't be as high as when CC and Angel was there, how much you want to bet the WNBA finals, if they're lucky, may get 3, 4, 5 million views, but that NCAA final without Angel, without CC, will probably still get 8 million views. So you have to build a sport and not the personality, because once you build a sport, it doesn't matter who the personality is, it's going to still have a rating. And that's why I mentioned Tiger and Venus and Serena. They look at her as the white Venus and Serena or the white Tiger. Let's just be real. But the difference is,
they said she was better. They said she was better than some of the tennis players. She's the best player on the planet. What are you talking about? They already said that, MSL. You missed that.
But here's the thing, right? Coco Gauff. But here's the thing. Coco Gauff has won 2 majors. And she's been a top 5, and she's been a top 5 player the last several years. What has CC done? It's kind of like what you say about Angel, Tony. Angel would never say, I'm here, or I'm this, or I'm the woman. She knows she still has her game to work on, her team to work with, the goals to work with, her coach to work with. She knows she's not there, right? And even Coco Gauff will tell you she's not there because there's another girl with 6 majors, Swiatek, and there's another girl with 4 majors, Sabalenka. She has 2, and they're the number 1 and 2 ranked players. So she knows that she still has a way to go. I think Coco is 4 or 5 right now. With her, the reason why you know she's not what they said she was, both from a marketing standpoint and from a basketball standpoint, because if it was, they would just allow it to grow organically. Think about it, y'all. Tiger was the shiznit, so he grew organically. The Williams sisters was the shiznit, so they grew organically. Coco was the shiznit, even though she did get some marketing promotion, so she grew organically, and she's won 2 majors. Why is it that everything with this girl, they got to cheat with the 45-point game, they got to cheat with the rules? That, we always talk about her push off in order to clear space, Tony, but she also sticks her hand out so you can't steal the ball from her. Her handle is so weak. ADP, that she holds the hand out and dribbles with her right hand and walks around the court so you can't steal the ball from her. She's the only player in the W that I see do that, which tells me, Toni, you don't belong in the W at the level that people claim you are. If you got to stick your hand out like an old lady to prevent people from stealing the ball, that means you ain't got no handle. And like we all know about the push off because she lacks explosion. Right? So it's like they change the rules for you. They ignore calls for you. They cheat for you. That 3-pointer where she took 5 steps. It's like, girl, you should, if this thing was honest, you would be playing 20 minutes a game in the league. Right. But because it's not honest, you put up these fake padded stats that normally happen during garbage time or when the game is not in doubt. And then and you know how they get us, y'all, with the numbers and with the awards. They go, oh, she was player of the week. Well, Kelsey scored 30 plus both games. Why didn't she get it? Or they go, oh, she averages 20 points. But if you actually watch the games, it's not an impactful 20 points. It's like you're scoring XX in garbage time. You're scoring here. But when she's on the court, the team doesn't play well. When she's not on the court, the team does play well. But they don't care because all they're trying to do is shove this stuff down our throat. Like she's FIBA MVP. But if you actually watch, you know she wasn't FIBA MVP. It's just, we're just tired of the games, but they're not going to stop. So that's why I say we have to critique the WNBA. Instead of just accepting what they say, we have to critique them unless these people are on payroll and they know, and that's why they keep their mouths shut.
Wait a minute. What we talking about Natasha Cloud here? Look at this, y'all. I was gonna finish that. We know Angel have a hyperextension. Let's just take that down. ADP, you still with me, ADP?
Yes, I was just listening to MSL. Yeah,
Let me look at this. You know, and this is why I gotta come to Threads,
what did they
right?
say, Toni?
Toni, Toni, what I say? Did not listen, Toni. I'm telling you what I just say. He getting ready. God is bringing out them snakes out the hole. It's gonna be from the organization to the coaches to the players. Watch. But the big, sometimes Big Reed don't look pretty, guys.
Wait, don't she got a game today? What she got to say?
Oh, this was 7 minutes. Yeah, 7 minutes
go
ago.
ahead, Toni.
She didn't post. She must have posted earlier, but I'm all off this. Let's see. I'm off this is posted this about, and it says anyway, shout out to Cheryl Swoops and even Candace Parker for keeping it real. So she says Sandy's one of the good ones. Natasha Cloud about her former coach Sandy Brondello calling Angel Reese the protective species. My thing is, so what does that mean? Like, I know she get it now. Cloud, we gotta understand. Cloud is one that kind of will go back and forth. She says,
did she say 2 contradictory statements, Toni? Is that what I'm getting? On one hand, she
well, here's what she's saying, and this is what I'm gonna take from this, and this is what I want people to get. Like, you gotta know the type of person Cloud is, right? Cloud is saying that she's saying that's her former coach. She's really a good person. You just
well,
can't
why does she have to tell us that though?
But look, everybody has a right to voice their opinion, right? Because
they do.
It's one of those things. That's just like us right now. Why do we have to keep telling people that Angel's okay? That Angel needs protection. That Angel needs support. She's doing the same thing. So I'm not gonna be mad at her how she worded it, right? But I could get on Timmy because Timmy didn't take it in a direction like this. Timmy took it in a direction to attack the player versus just saying it wasn't meant that way. She should have just left it like this. It wasn't really, I don't think she meant it that way, blah, 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 and then move on. She put it in a sense that she went on attack of the player.
And then she attacked her twice. And she attacked her twice.
No, it seems like, no, you know what this seems like? It's different versions of the same thing Timmy's saying, but it's a lighter version.
Well, this is all she's saying. She's saying Sandy so she listened to Swoops. I showed y'all Candace, and I still have Swoops. Basically, all they're saying is, okay, Sandy, you said you just, you got to watch what you say. You got to be conscious on your choice of words. It's choice words. It's the same thing I say when people are on a panel. It's the same conversation I had the other night. Remember, ADP. It's choice words you use. I don't think she's saying that she shouldn't, like, we're going to protect Sandy for saying what she said because she really didn't mean it. I think it's just a statement. Like, some statements people read too much into. This to me is just saying this, right? Sandy is one of the good ones. Yes, she messed up. Yes, she said it, but she messed up.
So she has a deviation by saying she messed up, but I still think she's a good one.
But this is the same team you went on a pivot and broke down and talked about. So I'm confused.
It's not the coach. A team players that you play with.
She broke it down. Yeah, I know, but on the pivot, she broke it down.
Different. She did, yeah, but like you can have a feel. You can have a certain feel for your team, and you can have a certain feel for your coach, right? This coach gave her
but that's not. It's the whole overall when she went on the pivot. So, I don't know. I mean,
ADP.
Like Tony said, everybody got, a right to their opinion and stuff like that. But the way she went on the pivot and broke that thing down, Tony, the head, it always starts with the head and it trickles down. So I don't know. I can't, like you said, I don't know. She has a right to her opinion, and she is connected to Izzy too. So I don't know.
I think Cloud knows what she said was wrong, but because of the Izzy connection, she's trying to split hairs. Because here's the thing, y'all, and I've heard people say this. Why is it when it comes to Angel, or to a lesser degree, or to a similar degree, Black women, we always have to make excuses? We all have couth, right? We all know what to say and what not to say. For example, if we're at a job and our boss gets into an argument with a coworker, right? Are we going to now badmouth the coworker or run around and tell people, oh, well, the boss is you gonna mind your business because it ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, unless you a kiss up, you're gonna mind your business. And as far as language and words have always had duality, right? Take the N-word, and I take the N-word, right? Right? The N-word is primarily a term of endearment, whether we like it or not, for a large section of the population, right? You can argue 99% of the time it's used as a term of endearment. So that would be like a white man going to Australia, getting into an argument with a Black person in Australia, and then calling him the N-word, and then going, hey, don't get mad. That's a term, in my country, that's a term of endearment. And he would be accurate saying that, though it would still be wrong, because guess what? It's like when two women are hanging out together, right? Oh, you be, they're friends, they're having fun. Not a big deal, right? Whether we like it or not. However, if you meet a woman and she's mad at you, and then the other woman says, you effing be, we know it has a different meaning. So words have always had different meanings. Sandy was yelling and cussing. She was in a tirade. And she also said POS.
We know what she said.
Right. So there's no way what she said was the so-called sporting thing. And even the sporting thing, just is a deviation of the original indigenous slur. So it was the white people's way of making fun of those indigenous people. So for her to even say, oh, it came from the sporting thing, well, that sporting thing, it wasn't like you have two meanings. The original meaning came from the indigenous thing because those indigenous laws took place in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So the sporting thing was the white people making fun of the Black people with those indigenous protection laws. So when she said that, it's actually even more of an insult, and no one in the media pointed this out. As a matter of fact, 80% of the media didn't even tell you it was also an indigenous slur. They accepted the meaning that she said, which is total BS. So you have people going, oh, well, she didn't know. Of course she knew. Of course she knew. That's like me saying the N-word, right? Or a white person saying the N-word. So they play people. So just like with the Angel situation with the WNBA in 2024, do you guys even do a modicum of research before you open your mouth? So
you gotta look at this. Most of these players, and they've talked about it, right? You had players like Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, who else? DJ Karen. A lot of those players sat there and they said, look, they said, we see players come in and we don't know them. We just know what we see online. They're just like everybody else. They don't know the player. So Benlay don't know the player. Izzy know the player because she played with the player, but because she has a tyrant, she's a tyrant. She has an attitude when it comes to what took place with her because of, as she would say, Angel's fans and everything that happened to her. She just doesn't like Angel, but that doesn't have anything to do with Angel. Her fans are her fans. You don't hate the player because of what their fans doing, because that she don't have anything to do with it. That's the same thing what we say about Cece. She don't have nothing to do with what her fans are doing, right? Her fans are gonna do what they're gonna do. Does she egg them on by some of the things that she do? Yes. Does Angel stay silent? Yes. Does Angel just continue to just be her normal, giddy, I'm pretty self? Yes. That's the way she's always been. So they're their own individuals. But we also got to remember, although Cloud's girlfriend is Izzy and she plays with her, they both played with Sandy last year. Now, she doesn't, to me, that's not a 1 year with a coach does not give a full stint of you being able to speak on a coach's behalf like this. And that's why I pulled it up. But I can also look at it.
I agree 100%. It's almost like they're kissing
from another perspective, though, MSL. I can look at it from the perspective of she know what she's doing. She ain't have to speak on it. But then I can look at it as saying, because she threw in two former players based on what they said. And she said she agreed with it. Sandy,
but nobody knows anyone's character. We only know what they do.
Right. But if she's coming in and she's saying, but see, that's why you got to listen to the two shows, right? She's saying it based off of listening to the two shows is what I don't think you're getting what I'm saying, right? Could she have stayed silent? Yes. Everybody's like, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Well, in this, she didn't say anything bad. All she just said was that Sandy's a good person.
Okay, well.
So Toni, just because you say something wrong out of your mouth, MSL, if you said something and it slipped, does that make you a bad person? It just makes that the moment that you had or something that you did was bad. I don't know you to say that you're a bad person.
My response to that is, and Tasha Cloud may not know Angel, but Angel's response, if you listen to her response, was basically like, well, I've spoken to other people. I've heard other people in the league, and what they say kind of confirms what she said. That's kind of like
I don't think she said it like she knows. There basically she's confirmed that the meaning of the word, but to know Sandy's character, Angel don't know Sandy's character.
Then why did she say I'm not surprised?
Because she's gonna say that to anybody that says something that is on an attack. MSL, any person that's on a defense is gonna say that. Like, why am I not surprised?
No, well, come on, Toni. If a person means no harm, why would you say that about them? If a person means no harm, I wouldn't say that about
because of what's said, the words that was said, right? So you are gonna say that. It's a moment. It's a moment in time. We all have moment in times, right? I'm not saying that anything about what Sandy did was wrong. I mean, was right at all. What she said was wrong.
There's some bad news coming out of her in New York, so I'm not so sure.
Well, until I hear it, I can't pass judgment because I don't know those things about her. Until it comes out, I don't know. Then when it comes out, then I can speak on it. And you're in that area, so you know more than I do. So
it was a lot of fans on threads and stuff saying the same thing.
Yeah, I didn't look at that, right? I don't know the pattern because what other player ever came out and said it?
Because the league is going to cover up anything with her the same way they covered up everything else.
So if I hadn't heard it, then how can I judge her on it?
The Kelsey Mitchell thing was the only thing but that was because it wasn't left up to the league. It was turned into the authorities. But in 2024, you had 7 players who said they were disrespected in an offensive manner in Indiana. You also heard Cheryl Reeves say the same thing. And the league did 8 investigations and said they found nothing. So that lets you know the league was protect. Because remember one thing, Toni, and this is the problem when you promote racism. The league will never acknowledge any racist act that happens towards the players or Angel, because in their minds, it will make Caitlin Clark look bad. That's the problem. It will make Caitlin Clark look bad because it's all based.
Because it all came from Indy. And that
Right.
Yes. So everybody knows that was covered, including the Indy fans.
So they're gaslighting us.
All know that.
Right, they're gaslighting us, so we have to be astute enough. My issue is the people who, first of all, ESPN is never going to tell the truth because they're partners with the WNBA. They're never going to tell, as much as y'all may like Cheney, and some of these other people, they're never going to tell the truth. They could only say but so much. Like Cheney struggles with just saying the stuff that she could say on the ESPN app that they have on YouTube. But she know when she get on TV, she can't say that. Just like when Lisa Leslie said, oh, you got to go with the money. General managers, they want the money. Lisa Leslie don't really believe that, but she had to say that if she was going to get on the show on ESPN, because there's a whole marketing thing behind this. And what we have to do, which I know you guys are doing in the Simply Ball Dropping Network, is to constantly pick holes at that till enough people understand. Like I saw Man Down Sports, he's been doing a series on Clark saying I
just saw it just now.
Right. Dre, and so it's a slow pickup. So the reason why I speak the way that I do, because if anyone is listening, they can fact check me, they can research, and they can go, oh wow, I didn't realize that, oh snap, oh this, oh that. So that way, because they tell us lies every day, and this girl is not it. If she was it, they wouldn't have handled her the way they did. They would have just let her play and her game would have spoke for herself. But because they know she don't got no, well, let me be fair, because I know you don't want me to speak like this, Tony. But because her game is limited, it's for you, Tony. But because her game is limited, I know what's his face. I know Grizz is sitting there saying, no, she ain't got no game because she white. She ain't got no game because she white. But because her game is limited, and because they know Hannah Hidalgo and Juju and all these people are coming next year and the year after, which is still stupid to me, Tony, and ADP, because okay, let's say you do all this stuff now. When these people come, they just gonna knock her off the block anyway. So what is the point? It's almost like it's not really about basketball, and it's more about the politics, the so-called race wars, the midterm election coming up, Trump. This thing seems to be more political than it is basketball.
And we said that. That's why it's like, why are we like, no one is really enjoying the season the way we need to because of that. So I want to play this real quick. Can you guys hear me? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Your internet's fine today, by the way, Tony.
Huh?
Your internet's fine today, by the way.
I know. Like I gotta keep asking because man, these last 2 days was crazy. All right, let's play this one. Before I play it, let's read what it says. It says, Angel fans don't play about her. They have to edit her pics to troll because she's fine. Okay, that's this guy. He's saying she's fine as F, and they be looking just like pics. So basically, she looks like her real picture. In other words, is what he's saying. So let's see what he's saying here. Like some people just do some silly stuff.
On the rabbit hole again. Today, it's a person named Stephanie Potter. All right, so they posted this. This is Angel Reese, obviously. This is not a real picture. They're trying to be fucking funny, right? Cool. Let's go find out who this is. All right, Stephanie. So, Raleigh, North Carolina. That's what we got here, huh? All right. In a relationship with John Bowman. Got it. Roger that. Now, I know good and goddamn well. You ain't making fun of looks with that goddamn mask on your goddamn face. She works for a company named First Note Music. Do what you will with that. Vice president. She just made her page private on Facebook because it was definitely public. Yeah, she went private. Your dumbass got baited, and why even care about Reese? She's ass at basketball. Shut up. She wouldn't have to worry about psychos like you putting her profile out there. Well, how about let's think before we speak and be racist on these social medias? With all your shit on another social media site. You see how fucking stupid that is? You care about your privacy on one social media site, but you don't give a fuck on 3 others. Yeah, that lines up. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially being the vice president of a company, right? Now, some people, the original picture of her on her Facebook is like a Confederate soldier, right? But some people link that page to her actual Facebook because she's not good at technology. Lady, there's clues on this fake profile that this is still you.
She may not be a real vice president. It could be fake.
Well, one of the reasons why I'm playing is because I want people to start realizing that right now what is happening is you have a lot of people like this young man right here. Right now, I've come across 7. What they're doing is they're going to find you. There's a way to find out your history, find out who you are, no matter what wall you try to hide behind. I already talked about this. There's firewalls, there's the black market, the black web, there's different things. Guess what? You can still be found. Guess what? I am very, very good with computers. Guess what? I too can find you if I choose to. But I don't give a darn about you. But I just want people to realize that as you continue to start trolling year after year, things are going to start to happen, and it's going to dwindle because folks like that, they're not going to want to get found out. So maybe she is, maybe she isn't. Remember, he said this particular page she made private, but he found 3 other of her pages that isn't private, that could possibly be true. And one of those pages, you put the truth out there. So let's let it finish.
We definitely need to contact her job. She thinks this is so funny. These people are sick and ill-minded, and you're about to lose your job. So mind you, the president of this organization is married to a black woman. Isn't it so funny how this is usually the case? This is her boss. Okay. Founder of the company, if you will. President of the company. Oh, God. Now, Stephanie, you need to stop. Y'all reached out to her job yet? If not, I will. We're going to start making sure this type of behavior isn't ignored and without consequence. No cap. Waiting on an email from them now. And it's a franchise, so I went to the source. They all in the DMs. Let's run that LinkedIn up too. Vice president, huh? And she's not the only one I got for today. So y'all stay tuned, man. Give me a like, a share, a follow, and a comment. And before you be racist on these apps, think about it first, stupid, because that's a very rich man's sport. Until next time, y'all. Peace. All right, we're going down the rabbit hole again.
And it is a very rich man's sport. That's why I'm putting it up there, right? Because you have no earthly idea what's going to happen to you next, because you're in the moment and I'm just trolling. Sometimes trolling. Like I said, if these ladies ever decided to invest in the proper media PR person, they can go in and they can find every last one of these people. And most of them will end up losing their jobs. And then you just blast them like this. People are losing their jobs left and right now. They're shutting down their pages. They're blocking their stuff. So you can't find them anymore. But remember,
I believe in fighting
once
back.
On the web, once on the web is always on the web, no matter how much you try to delete it, block it, hide it, shadow ban it. There's so many things that you can do and stick it in certain different clouds and think that you can split. People can still find you. Ask me, how do I know? I can't tell you how I know, but do know that I know. I can't. I wish I could tell you how I know, because I just can't tell you. Anyway, put it this way: I can find you if I need to.
Yeah, if you really wanted to find these people, you could. And I agree with that. The same way I said the media should challenge and go after the WNBA the way they could or should, right? Yeah. It's also, like civilians. Yeah, if they should look up and go after any of these people who do these egregious things against Angel. So once people start losing their jobs or put out on blast, my major issue is the media. They're willing partners to let this stuff go by, because like I said, I haven't seen ABC News, I haven't seen ESPN, I haven't seen Yahoo or any of these people attack people for going after Angel Reese, right? Like you never see it. Like, so maybe a couple of the announcers or the people who do who are doing the game may say something, or the interview person, but I've never seen like anything even close to, hey, we don't, people always say, well, what could the league do? The league could do a lot, because if the league, number one, said we won't tolerate it, and we'll investigate and prosecute anything. And if once they investigated and prosecuted a couple of people, I guarantee you people would change. But it's also the culture, right? Because the league promoted a toxic, negative culture. And those CC sites that I always talk about, right, that I say are paid, right? Whether they're paid by PR companies, paid by the league, paid by Nike, paid by Outkick, paid by whoever, right? Barstool, or, whoever's funding them and paying them, right? Those sites, that, remember, they hated the players with the CBA. They hated all the players. They hate Angel Reese. They hated Unrivaled, and they hated the CBA negotiations. But the one thing they liked, all of them, was CC. So that's a clear example that you're fostering hate, because the only thing you like is this one player. So you're not a fan of the league. You can never be a fan of a league where you like one player and then you hate the rest of the league and say the rest of them are lesbos and blacks and this and this. It's a false equivalency, and no one who's a serious journalist could ever accept that. You're not a fan of the sport because you never heard a Bulls or a Jordan fan, Tony and ADP, say, you know what? I'm not going to follow the NBA anymore because Jordan didn't win that award. Or I'm not going to follow the NBA anymore because they screwed the Bulls. No, it's just ludicrous. So none of this stuff is real. Just like the Brondello stuff, this is not real. Like, no one says, I'm not going to follow the sport if my player doesn't get what they want. And we tolerate this because no one in the media says, wait a minute, this is dumb, because the media is in on it. That's the problem. So it's up to us, citizen, whatever you want to call us, citizen fighters, citizen journalists, citizen social media people, citizen commenters, citizen fans, who have to constantly point out, this is all BS, this is not real, and it has to get back to basketball, and we all have to challenge the WNBA in our own way.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to make sure I came and put that out, and we just talk about her a little bit today, because the day was just simply about her. And for those that didn't know what was the extent of her injury, just hyperextension of the knee. I'm so glad that that's not a problem. No, it's not her shoes. For someone that made a comment before on Threads stating, oh, it's the big boats. No, them shoes are light as a feather. That means that they don't even know. Yes, back in the day, we all know that Reeboks was a very, very heavy shoe. Allen Iverson's shoe was so dang on heavy. I felt like a brick. It felt like picking up a brick. Those shoes were so heavy. But the shoes are super light. They still have the look and the effect of a bulky shoe, but they're actually extremely light. You can walk in them with ease for hours. You can run in them. That's i.e. as to why they're a basketball shoe. And then so it's not the shoe. It's just Angel's come out of her shoes before. She's come out of Nikes in college twice. So, and I'm sure if she play in this league for another 10, 11 years, it's going to be the same thing. You're not going to always keep a shoe. Asia done lost her shoe before. Everybody lose their shoe every once in a while. So, unfortunately, there's some that can be fortunate enough and not lose their shoe, but sometimes it is what it is. But I did want to put that out there. And then let's show her shoe, which is the last thing.
That's the Me Bound. That's the Me Bound one, right?
No, these are her Barbie shoes.
For Barbie night?
She got some Barbie shoes. Let's see, is it here?
Oh yeah, she done snuck. I ain't playing with Angel. Angel be playing too much. She know we get ready to be in the house for Barbie night, and she playing like this. So I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna negotiate, right? So I was like, hey man, I'm gonna have to do some braids instead of getting that nice lace front. You know what I'm saying? So I can get it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they are only. Look, I love pink, so I gotta have them. They're like a collector's edition.
There you go. There you go. The
And the back
Barbies.
is tight, and it's got the Barbie symbol inside the shoe. So
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
uh-huh.
Yes.
Yo, wow.
She went from, okay, that wasn't it. Where's the other picture? This here goes with this shoe, but there's another picture that shows like last year, this same time last year. Remember, she had, well, not last year, the year before, her first year. She had some pink ones custom made, and it said Barbie on them, remember? And so now here we are, boom, in some true Barbies. Some true Barbies.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I see
love
the
it.
back probably has the Barbie name, but it's hard to see. But I see the yellow.
No,
in the back.
the back doesn't have the Barbie name.
No, it's inside the
The
shoe.
symbol is inside the shoe,
yeah,
but still the back
the
is
one
tight
you see.
because it's pink. It's pink
Yeah.
in the back.
You know, and
But
it's
you got-
really. Go ahead, ADP.
No, I'm saying you got it where you could tweak it and wear it with a lot of stuff, you know.
Uh-huh. Look at that, y'all. I'm just gonna zoom them.
Well, I'm
babies.
gonna leave the rest up to y'all, because though I'm not saying a color has to be for a particular sex, but I'll leave this discussion up to you ladies.
Hey, men, real men wear pink.
Whatever. It was said always got something.
Hey, I just
That's
said
why
it.
him and that's why him
real
and
men
BB clash, because
wear
they be having.
pink.
Y'all be saying some little, slick stuff. You and BD. That's
Oh
why
yeah,
y'all
this was the other show. Let's see. We have how long they on? This is like a little 2-minute clip.
really capture and like
Let's see. Let's get to this. There's another segment. I had a few of these.
timely plays or like defensive stops, and it's like those are the kinds of things that just you can't really capture unless you're like just watching the games. Could you just?
And so what she's doing is she's just talking about Angel Reese, like things that you don't get to see, that you miss, that isn't the norm for people to talk about when you're looking at her game.
And just so you know, Tony, you should know, but in case you don't know, Meg Hall is one of the people who ask questions. She's part of the pool, the Atlanta pool, that you'll hear or see ask questions after every Dream game.
Absolutely, yeah. This is why they're talking to her. Yeah, I definitely know who she is.
Kind of share from your perspective, like how she has impacted winning this season, and what are the things that somebody that's just box score watching or just tuning into like the occasional national TV game might be missing?
Yeah, so I would point out first, Angel's got a really good relationship with Jordan Canada. You'll see them kind of go back and forth in the pick and roll. And again, if you're not watching it, you'll miss it because it doesn't happen quite as often, I think, as people are probably wanting it to. Maybe I say people, me. But you'll see 2 or 3 plays a game where, yeah, her and Jordan will feed off of each other. So that's one. I think 2, a perfect example of Angel's ability to affect a game is the Sparks game the Dream played a couple of days ago, and maybe more than a week ago now. My days are all kind of blurring together. But at that game, it was a Monday night game. Sparks were kind of eating into the Dream's lead. All of a sudden, it's a tie game. And Angel Reese knocks down a corner 3-pointer that has this fortuitous bounce, and it just bounces right in. And it's a big play. She hits the 3. On the very next possession, I think she drew a foul. Yeah, so she drew a foul. So she got to the line. Possession after that, she gets a steal in transition. Like, it's just
back to
play after play after play. So it spurred this huge run. I think the Dream went on a 14-5 run in the last 3 minutes to seal that win. But that was spurred by Angel Reese's sort of activity. And I think the thing is, like, that's not the only game she's done it. She's done it in other games where she's hit a big corner 3 that like has lifted Atlanta, or she's gotten a timely steal or a block or
the game-winning block. Yeah, I remember that one.
Right. There's been a couple of those where you're like, oh, that's huge. So I think that people like to knock Angel for that inefficiency, but like if you're paying attention, one, Angel isn't in her natural spot right now. She was playing the 5 because Bree Jones hadn't come back yet, and Bree Jones is still working her way back. So that's one thing. But 2, also, I think she's done a really good job of like, okay, hey, I'm not in my natural position, but I can still contribute, and I can still play in that 4-5 spot with her and Naz Hillman. And so I think she's done a really good job of being that defensive anchor. She's prided herself on defense. She's talked about wanting to be on the all defensive team, wanting to essentially help lift Atlanta's defensive profile. And really and truly, I think for her, it's been one of the better seasons of her career, I think, with the help of Carl Smesko, who she's praised about helping her shooting.
Man, I tell you. Bring it back. That's
I
it.
think the rewards for his shooting is going to come either later in the season or in the second half of the season or next year because remember he doesn't like taking mid range. So I don't know if it's because Angel's not comfortable or because he insists don't take the mid range, take a layup or a 3-point shot. So because of that, she's not taking the mid ranges that you mentioned, Tony. She was
Right.
taking last year. So
Right.
hopefully, because her form looks better on the 3-point shot, like her follow through looks better, and that's what he's always looking for. So hopefully the shots will start dropping on a more regular basis, and that will just make her that much more dangerous for her to drive to the hole.
Right. Here it is, MSL.
That's the ones from last year?
That's the one she made. That's the one she made. Barbie,
They're ugly, but they're ugly, but I get it.
I think she gave them to a kid, and then from there to here. That was her shoe.
Well, these you can wear. These you can actually wear on the streets and rock them on the streets. The other one looks like something you'd more play in because you want people to look at them.
That's an old school basketball shoe.
Yeah.
That's the old schools. But those aren't as bulky. Like those are a little softer than when we talk about shoes back in the day. But the ones that she have are very light. They look bulky and heavy, but they are not.
But I see all the wraps and the tapes you were talking about on that Barbie shoe.
Yeah, you see? And when you go over to this one, yeah.
No, I meant on her ankles.
It's a regular logo, and then you got this here, and then you go to the other shoe, and it's a much lower, but yeah, I told you, she doesn't wear, and somebody was like, she wear ankle braces. No, she doesn't. She gets taped. So she has the tape, then she has the black pre-over. She has the black pre-tape, she has the white tape, and then she does the black like cloth tape.
So you think she plays in a shoe bigger than her normal size with all that stuff?
No. Sometimes it just happens. The shoe just comes off. It's you can tie.
No. What I mean is to fit in the shoe. Do you think she gets it a size bigger?
No, you want your shoes to fit tight. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, I mean, my opinion, I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Just a question.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, I really don't. Yeah. So it says Dream Barbie. Angel Reese went from wearing custom Barbie Reeboks to having an official signature shoe.
I remember the custom ones.
I think that's from the first year because at first she was like, somebody said they wanted those, and she said,
yeah, those are similar to the Reese's Pieces shoe. Those are similar to the Reese's Pieces ones, except the colors were different.
Those are going to be collectibles for her until I guess she decides she doesn't want them anymore. Most athletes, after they finish playing, there's a lot of things that they don't want anymore because that they get rid of because it's like, oh, I got too much of it.
Yo. Chicago is putting belt to you know what on the Liberty.
And that's why we get ready to get out of here, y'all. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, MSL, for coming up and rock with me. ADP, as always, you guys are always welcome. The support that I'm given from the chat, I got a few super chats today. I want to say thank you all so much. But that is the end of this particular episode on Angel Reese on CourtVision with SoPrettyToni. Thank you again for coming and watch and hanging out and having a great conversation. If you enjoyed this video, okay, make sure that you don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't on your way out. Hit the subscribe button if you are not subscribed, and also hit the notification bell so you are notified every time I drop, whether it be on the NBA, track and field, softball, which is going on right now, or any
ton soccer. We got to do some soccer. You like soccer? Trinity, Rodman, Trinity.
Oh,
yes.
And Tony, did you hear about Kalia Copper?
Yeah, that she's going to be coming in place of Kelsey Plum. Absolutely, that's a good choice. Great pickup. I responded to someone in the chat about that. I think that's good because she too was missed. She's just on a bad team. It is what it is. It's crazy, but I'm glad she'll get to be there with her little granddaughter Angel Reese, with the other Mama D, and Mama Agumake, and all these other mamas.
You know they're gonna be looking out for her this weekend.
Of course. But hey, I hear that Angel got a lot of parties set up. Angel is gonna go have a good time. Angel's gonna be fine. Angel's gonna have her have her bodyguards, and she's gonna do what she needs to do to stay safe, but at the same time enjoy herself. But she's gonna be in Chicago, where everybody loves her anyway, right? I don't foresee anything happening to her because the city loves her. The people there, they love her. She is a household name there. They wish she was still there. They love the team.
Yo, Sydney Taylor, what the hell?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Sydney Taylor's like, no, she's lighting it up.
Sorry, Tony.
I'm gonna tell you that he took Sydney Taylor out at one point, and it just kind of messed up the flow of things because Sloop was in. But Sydney is doing what she got to do. Anyway, let's get out of here so y'all can go finish watching that. Drop a comment if you have it after this. Go back afterwards and hit the hype button. Hype me up. Hype me up, y'all. Hype me up.
So I'm sorry I yelled, Tony. I just turned around.
No, you're good. You're good.
And she hit a 3-pointer with somebody in her face. So I was just like,
man.
No,
she's good. Hey, let her do her thing. With that being said, guys, we are out of here. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you,
guys.
Tony.
I check y'all out later. Hey,
okay.
Welcome, ADP.
Yo, the YT girls on New York is just looking at her with this mean face, like I cannot believe this girl.
Man,
is just
they're muddy in the water big time.
Busting out behind, like,
how many minutes left?
And that's another discussion.
5 minutes. Nope, we out of here, MSL.
No, I mean for another day. All the YT girls on New York.
Yeah.